Sup, gang? Most recently, I found myself asking what everything in this life that we consume and the media around us is benefiting us, or who exactly it is benefiting whenever I've consumed something. Whenever I've woken up and been on TikTok or been on Instagram or read a piece of news, I've asked myself, okay, so who benefits from me consuming this piece of information? And this has sat with me for a while. And this is my first video. You say, I think I'm just gonna be going through my chain of thought on that. And by the end of this video, you consuming this content should be for your own benefit. And then anything else that comes after this that I put out to this world shouldn't be for my benefit or to get people to believe in specific things that I want to push on people the same way the media is portrayed to do, or the same way specific individuals do it. I'm trying my best to have people benefit from whatever it is that they consume from me. And to have that is, I feel a blessing when there are people out there who are not selfish. They just give us the source as it is and let us run with it. I think life being open source is the best thing to happen to human beings, and it's the best thing that we can do for each other. So, in my pursuit of being open source, an open source human being, I have asked this question of who benefits from me consuming this information, who benefits from me consuming these videos, who benefits from me reading this book, and ways it has brought me is here where I'm in a place where I am not necessarily claiming to have gained clarity on everything, but I'm in a place where I feel like there is need for us to be sharing specific things for the benefit of each other, not only for the benefit of ourselves. And through those means of communication, through that sharing, through that breaking of the fear of being seen, we become the people who we are meant to be. Because human beings, I believe, and I've written about this as well in my blogs, sometimes the greatest number we can become is one. When we think in unison, when we act in unison, and when whatever clarity we have, we share with each other and we become the best versions of ourselves and share these best versions of ourselves, because there are 8 billion unique stories out there of 8 billion different people who have been brought up and been socialized in different ways. Even if sometimes it looks like people have been socialized the same way, they have really not, because the way they receive is different, the way we receive things is different, and the way it benefits us is different. And sometimes who it benefits when we're in these situations is different as well. So, in moments where we've benefited from something and our lives have become better, I think it's best to share it with each other. um, just like the same way it goes, a problem shared is a problem half solved. That's why a lot of people want us to express our problems to them, or we express our problems to other people, so that maybe a person has experienced something similar or even the same thing, and when they share it with us, that's when we find that breakthrough that, oh, this is not unique to me, and the source is out there for solving my problems. A lot of people have become open source now, and I believe this is the best way to move forward with life. So this is what I'm doing as well. I'm open sourcing my life. What I'll mainly be doing is talking about like random things that I find to be helping people out. I will also be highlighting my struggles and trying to figure out and have conversations with people around what these struggles are. Many people have now been conformed to the one thing I'm using right now, which is a great tool, but also can be distracting to us. And this is the phone. So the phone is a great tool, of course. I mean, for many different things that humans have not been able to do while they've been growing up, or not while they've been growing up, while we've been evolving, the phone has been able to help us. You do not need to carry a big camera with you wherever you go. You do not need to carry a notebook that you would even need to open in order for you to be reminded about events that are happening during the day for you. And most specifically, you do not need to wait days, years, or months in order for you to get communication from someone who's far from you. I feel phones have made this so accessible for people, but at the same time, they've made that access a bit too much in some cases, and they have disconnected the same people that they were meant to connect. So you wake up in the morning, first thing you probably do is go on your phone, you scroll on TikTok, you scroll on Instagram. Even if you wake up and read the news, who benefits from you consuming that information? Who benefits from you consuming that content when you're always hooked? And I was watching a podcast where the CEO of Telegram was talking about how he doesn't have a phone, or he doesn't use a phone except for when it's him testing out a new Telegram feature. And that life is, I would say, when you get to that point of access, it's amazing what you can do when you get that amount of freedom in your mind. But we do not ignore the necessities of having these devices. But when these devices enslave us, then we become slaves to that which was meant to make us more free. That which was meant to have give us more free time becomes what makes us bounded to it, you know. That which makes us, that which was supposed to make us more free thinkers, make us share ideas, becomes that which feeds ideas into our brains which are not beneficial for us in the first place. That specific phone which was supposed to make life more efficient for us, more efficient for our friends, for our families, for our loved ones, becomes the tools we use to stalk people, the tools we use to basically inflict harm upon other people who we have not met at all. Or it becomes the specific tool which you look at every day and you are mad because of what some random person in some random place said about you, or said about a group that you believe you belong to, even though that group has no apparent leader and no apparent goal that will lead you to somewhere where you can not only benefit, but you can feel at peace, or you can find freedom. And that's what the phones have become. And once they've, even if they've become this, they've also not been, you know, they're also tools which you can use for other crazy, amazing things which we have already discovered and we are yet to discover. So I want to use my platform as well to be able to just show what we can do when we are improving ourselves for the better, and we not only look at things for the bad in a sort of like scenic or negative view, but when we look at the positive sides of things and then we move in that positive side. The last thing that I want to talk about is, again, among this consumption of media, consumption of different things. It can be food, it can be the environments around us when we look outside and we see what's around us, how we are consuming this thing, this in this world, in our different ways of senses, right? We feel things, we touch things, we see things, we hear things, and all that. For me, I want to give my experience on a positive view of how our senses have evolved and how, as people, we have adapted to different things, by sharing my journey of how I've adapted to different situations in my life as well, and just sharing ideas that I've explored. Because sometimes it's not only sitting, it's like I sit back and I watch a video and it makes me feel something. It makes me think of something. I've watched movies when I was a kid that I still go back and look at now, and I go, oh, there's this idea of this specific thing. It can be me trusting my future self with something. It could be me thinking of the reasons why I do things. It could be love. It could be passion for specific things. It could be chasing greatness. And just looking at the positive sides of those things has given me a sense of I need to share this, because a lot of people want to share it as well, but they really don't know how to share it. And I feel like this is where we can have that gang of people who just really strive for something and then push ourselves towards it with that meaningful goal in our minds until we get that meaningful goal out. And when we get it out, it means something, not only to us, but also to the world around us. I've felt most proud not when I have posted a picture of Instagram and it's gotten 1,000 likes, although I'll mention getting 1,000 likes is like getting 1,000 compliments from people. And like if you get that in real life every day, it would be amazing. But going away from that, sometimes it's when I share something, I write something, even if it's just like a one liner on my story or it's a whole blog post, and one person comes back to me and asks a question, or they talk about how they were facing something similar, and then we get to talk about it. Recently, it's happened with someone so random to me, it felt unreal. I thought I'd never touch base with like such a specific person in life. It was actually my supervisor at work, but he was just going through some of my blogs. And the thing with me is I've I've downplayed myself and what I do a lot. And so when I'm expressing myself, usually I do not mention things that I might be good at. And other people, then when they figure out what I'm good at, they're like, oh, you actually do this thing. So for me, this is again another platform where I'm just putting myself out there. I'm trying to get past the fear of being seen. So back to my supervisor story, he read one of my blogs, and then he mentioned something so specific that I'd written in that blog. And mind you, this from in that blog, it was just a suggestion that I'd put out there that you could try this. And he said, oh, I actually tried this once and it worked for me. And then we went through a lot of lessons that he had learned. He's 10 years older than me, and the lessons that he had learned were like the lessons that I was only highlighting at someone may be learning when they're older. And me getting that specific um, view from that specific person, from that worldview that they already have, pushed me again here, where I'm like, what do I have to share with the world? What can I share with the world? And it's not only about me now that I figured it. I have a lot of selfish quests that I go on. Not selfish in the sense of I do them and I do not want them to benefit anyone else, but they're quests that are for my own betterment. So things like bettering my health, trying to get more money, trying to get physically in shape, trying to look good, and some other things that are just kind of like self development. What I figured with these things is they're kind of good, selfish, but they are not what our purpose is. I've kind of felt that my purpose would be to have something that benefits humanity and people around, not only me, but around even the people I love and some of the people who I don't know, but I share this with. And this is what would be making myself better. A lot of content has been about people bettering themselves, and that inspires us, but that gets us hooked on that content. I just feel like there needs to be platforms where we can help each other become more purposeful. And for me, my platform would be this. And this platform is where that confidence will come. Over the past, I've been filming videos and I've been putting them out there for a specific audience to see. And in those videos, I've seen myself progress from a person who was only reading out what they had written in journals to a person who now can have a chain of thought and put that chain of thought in video. And then once I'm done with that, I can just put it out there. This is my first exam, not my first example, but this is my first iteration of putting it out there for the world to see. The second thing would be, the last thing would be me just trying to help as many people as possible, honestly. I have a lot of influence from people who are not the most famous in this world, but can impact the most people in this world. People who have built brands, people who have built their personalities to such great multitudes that it feels as if they were born into abundance. But when you hear those people's backstories, you're amazed. And for me, this is my backstory now. Just giving this to the world and building up on whoever sees. It's not about who will come back to me and says, "Oh, you've done so great, so and so great things for me." It's not about me going out there and being an easily recognizable face. It's about whatever I've said being an impactful thing, even for one person, even if it's through another person who is not me directly. This is what it's about. It's about scaling past the selfishness that is self improvement and going towards a goal which is attainable by impacting the most minimal number of lives. And that minimum number of lives is one. So if this impacts one person, I am most proud of myself. If this impacts more than one person, then I'm not only proud of myself, but I would have been proud of the goals that we have created, because it might take two people to get to 1 billion people. And if that's the case, then let this be the video that goes to those people. Yeah, that's about it. I am going to be uploading at least as much as I can, trying to explore ideas, trying to explore different things. And once those ideas roll out there, I'm excited for the conversations that are going to come out of it. I'm excited for the practicality that it will bring into people's lives. And I'm excited for how it will transform as well my life into something better. So yeah, thank you for getting this far along. If you're this far into the video, it's just crazy listening to someone yep for this long, but I just wanted to make it as clear as possible what it is that we're here for and what it is that we'll be doing from now until I do not know when. So thank you very much and hope to see you in the next one. Cheers, gang.